Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Lulu Essey podcast, where we build emotional resilience, confidence, mental fitness, and self-love without following someone else's blueprint. I'm Lulu, and if you're tired of self-improvement advice that feels like it was written for someone else, you're in the right place. This podcast is about creating a life on your terms, doing the real inner work of building self-love and self-worth from the inside out. No quick fixes, no hacks, no toxic positivity, just honest conversations about becoming who you actually are and giving you simple tools to guide you. Tools that meet you exactly where you are. This is unedited and always from the heart. I'm really excited because this week is part 1 of an 8-part series I've been working on. It's inspired by patterns I kept noticing throughout 2025. I became aware of these patterns as I looked at search behavior. I looked at workplace well-being research. I paid attention to conversations that were happening. And I looked at the kinds of questions people are asking themselves, their therapists, their coaches, and also what they're asking AI. And something seems to have shifted. People stopped asking questions like, "What's wrong with me?" and started asking questions more like, "Why do I feel this way, even when I'm doing everything right?" I'm not here to analyze the data or give you a report. I'm here to sit with those questions alongside you, to offer my perspective, to slow down and make meaning of what we're actually living through together, and to give you tools to help you create a meaningful shift, tools that will meet you exactly where you are. Before we get going, please share this episode with your friends, your family, your colleagues, with anyone who is searching, asking questions and looking for more meaning, more purpose, more joy, more insight and freedom in their lives. I'd like to start today by asking you a question that I invite you to really think about. Have you ever looked at your life on paper and thought, "My life should feel way better than it actually does"? You have the job, or you're working toward it. You have relationships. That's not to say they're all ideal, but you have them. Maybe a home you've built. Even if you're like me and you're renting, still you have a place to call home. You have accomplishments you can point to, things that from the outside look like they're working. And yet, there's this feeling, this low hum of something. It's almost like a low-level anxiety or discomfort. It's not crisis, not depression necessarily, just stuckness, a sense that you're somehow not where you're supposed to be. Even though you can't point to what's wrong, you can't identify exactly what is causing this uncomfortable, nagging feeling inside you. If that's you, I want you to know something right now before we go any further. You are not broken, you're not ungrateful, and you are most definitely not alone. Here's what I've come to understand about this particular kind of stuckness. It's actually one of the most disorienting places to be. Because when something is clearly wrong, at least you know what to address, where to focus, where to direct your energy. Your relationship ended. You lost your job. There's a crisis. The path forward might be painful, but it seems visible. There's a problem to solve. It's like there is a certainty when there is a so-called problem to fix. But when nothing is technically or glaringly wrong, when life looks fine on paper but doesn't feel fine in your body, in your gut, in the quiet part of your mind and heart, that's a completely different kind of lost. You start to wonder if the problem is you, if you're just never satisfied, if you should be more grateful, count your blessings more, or if something is fundamentally broken inside you, that you can't seem to appreciate what you have. And so instead of examining that stuckness, you push it down. You tell yourself you're being ridiculous. You should just get over yourself. And then next, you add more to your plate, thinking maybe you just need to achieve a little more, do a little more, be a little more. And the stuckness stays. It sticks to you like Velcro, like glue, and you can't seem to get rid of that nagging feeling. I want to introduce you to a concept I've been sitting with. I call it being a quiet misfit. A quiet misfit is someone who looks like they fit in. From the outside, everything seems aligned. They show up, they participate, they play the role, they do the things people around them expect them to do. But inside there's a subtle but persistent sense of being in the wrong room, of wearing clothes that technically fit but don't feel like yours, of speaking a language fluently but somehow it isn't your mother tongue. And here's the thing about being a quiet misfit. Nobody sees it. It's completely invisible because you're so good at fitting in, so skilled at adapting, so practiced at being what's expected of you. Which means the loneliness of it is invisible, even to you sometimes, maybe even a lot of the time. And I know this because I've lived it. There were years of my life where I was succeeding by almost every external measure and quietly dying inside, like a dullness was seeping into my bones, not dramatically, not in a way anyone would notice, just slowly losing connection to myself, while building a life that looked right but felt hollow, empty. It felt like something, but it didn't feel like I hoped it would. I was a quiet misfit. So what's actually happening when you feel stuck, but nothing's overtly wrong? In my experience, it's rarely a motivation problem. It's almost always a misalignment of your values. It means your values are out of alignment with who you really are when you feel like a quiet misfit. I'll explain what I mean. We're taught that if we follow a certain path, we'll feel a certain way. Get the degree, feel accomplished. Land the job, we'll feel successful. Build the relationship, we'll feel loved. Achieve the goal, we'll feel fulfilled. Cause and effect in the material world. But what happens when you do all those things and the feeling doesn't come? The joy doesn't come. The fulfillment doesn't come. Or it comes for a few moments and then disappears. Nothing feels lasting, and so you keep chasing more to find the lasting feelings of joy, of peace, of fulfillment, of worthiness, of whatever it is you want. When this keeps happening, it's usually a sign that the path you're on was designed by someone else. Maybe parents, society, culture, the algorithm, whatever. You've been following a map that wasn't drawn for you. The GPS signal you're following is not yours. And the stuckness you feel, that's your internal compass trying to get your attention. It's not a bug to fix. It's an important feature. It's your deeper self, your inner self saying, this isn't it. This isn't what we came here for. This is not our path. I've spoken before what I call the success paradox. The idea that we've got the whole thing backwards. We think we need to achieve in order to feel worthy, but actually, we need to feel worthy first, and then the achievements become meaningful. This stuck feeling, it's often the success paradox playing out in real time. You achieve the thing, but the worthiness doesn't come, because worthiness was never waiting at the finish line. It was supposed to be where you started. It was supposed to be there before you started. Now, I want to be really clear about something, because I don't want to leave you with the impression that the answer is to burn your life down and start over. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. Recognizing you're a quiet misfit doesn't mean you have to quit your job, leave your relationship, move to a different country. Sometimes those things are right, but often the shift is much more subtle. It might mean doing the same job, but from a different internal place. It might mean having the same relationship, but showing up with more honesty within the relationship. It might mean keeping your external life largely intact, while completely reorganizing your internal priorities. The first step is not action. The first step is honesty. The first step happens on the inside, and that can be a scary place to go. Go gently, go quietly, go with intention and with love, and always, always leave judgment at the door. And importantly, when you go inside, be willing to be uncomfortable. And this is where our tiny tool comes in. I want to offer you something simple today, something I call the honest naming. And here's how it works. When you notice that stuck feeling, that something's off sensation, instead of immediately trying to fix it, explain it away, or judge yourself for having it, you simply name it. Out loud if you can, or in writing, but you name it honestly without rushing to a solution. Naming it might sound something like, I feel stuck and I don't know why. It might sound like, something feels off in my work, even though it looks like I'm successful. I'm doing everything right, and it's not landing the way I expected. Or, I feel like I'm in the wrong room, but I don't know which room is right. That's it. That's the practice. Name it. Don't fix it yet. Don't analyze it to death, and don't judge yourself for feeling it. Just allow the truth of your experience to have a voice. And why does this matter? Because most of us spend so much energy either denying what we feel or immediately trying to solve it. We skip the part where we actually let ourselves know what's true for us. You can't navigate somewhere new if you don't admit where you actually are, or you don't know where you are. Because you need to know where you are if you want to be on the right road to where you want to go. You need a starting point. The honest naming is a doorway. It's not the whole journey, but it's how you begin, how you get started. So here's what I want you to take from today. If you feel stuck when nothing is technically or glaringly wrong, you are not ungrateful, you're not broken, and you're not asking for too much. You might just be a quiet misfit, someone whose external life doesn't match their internal compass, someone whose values aren't aligned, someone whose life looks great but deep down doesn't feel as good as it looks, someone whose values are out of alignment with who they are. And the beautiful thing about recognizing that is that it means the stuckness isn't a character flaw. It's information. It does not mean that something is wrong. It's your inner self, your deeper self asking for your attention to focus inward. Let the outside be the outside. Bring your awareness inside. This week, I invite you to try the honest naming just once. Notice the stuck feeling when it shows up, and instead of pushing past it, give it words. Let it be true without needing to immediately fix it. And next week, in part 2 of the series, we're going to explore what happens next. That question of, okay, I know what to do, so why can't I do it? Because once you've named what's true, action becomes the next frontier. But that's for next time. For today, just allow yourself to be where you are, even if where you are is stuck, even if where you are is confused. That's a valid place to be, and you're not alone in it. You can watch this episode on my YouTube channel or check out my shorts, which are bite-sized tools to build mental fitness one step at a time. And please hit subscribe while you're there. And share this episode with anyone who might need to hear that being stuck isn't a failure. It might just be the beginning of finding their way home. And as always, what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And today, with deep respect for wherever you are in your journey, and with so much love for the quiet misfits, this comes straight from my heart to yours.